I was at my friend's house in Paris 2 weeks ago, and his girlfriend was looking for a job, and we were eating breakfast, and she just told me like, "Dave, you're so inspiring." I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, she's like you're sending emails to all these people trying to get financing for your French podcast and all that kind of stuff. She's like, "You're really inspiring. Like, you inspire confidence." So I was like, maybe I can do a video about this and like give advice to accountants since I've been an accountant for like more than 10 years now. I'm a CPA for like 6 years, and this is a different kind of content, like less editing, more through more, like real stuff. So I'm giving you advice on your accounting career. So I have a little text here. That's all I have. Nothing will be edited. This is a test I'm doing. So my advice, number one, will be believe in yourself. So if you are actually, I have another story with my friend's girlfriend. She was looking for a job while I was in Paris, and I told her, "Hey, why don't you ask Copilot with your skill set? Like, point me some companies that I could work for." And she told me, "Oh, yeah, I thought about that, but I don't have the English level for these businesses, for these jobs." And I was like, "Yo, you are in Paris. People speak French. Most of them don't speak a single word in English. I am sure that you are more than enough fluent in English for these jobs. So just like fake it till you make it." I don't like to say that, but like just apply on jobs that require that English skill level, and you will figure it out. You will get it. And I think what I would say is like when you apply for a job in an accounting sphere, you can pretty much apply the same, right? So you just believe in yourself and you're like, I'll make it. They're asking for that 3 years of experience or whatever. You don't have it. All these entry level job, they ask for like 5 years of experience, you talking like four languages and all of that. But at the end of the day, just apply on the damn job and just believe in yourself, and you'll probably make it. If I bring this to myself, when I started my career in accounting, I remember, you send those resume everywhere. Like I sent it to PwC, EY, Deloitte, and so all the big four, and I didn't actually send it to KPMG. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, and I remember I was really like believing in myself, but it was almost 5 p.m. It was the deadline, like before they were sending the offers, and they didn't call me back uh, before like a quarter to 5, and I was almost crying. I remember I was almost crying, even though I had really great scores at grades at university and stuff. And they ended up calling me at like 5 minutes to 5. But you know what? I was believing in myself until the end there, but actually not quite until the end. But I should have believed in myself until the end, because at the end of the day, it worked out. So I hope these stories you can relate a little bit and just believe in yourself. Then I worked for PwC in audit for 3 years, and it brings me to my next advice: is don't care too much slash you don't save life being an accountant. You're not a doctor. No one's gonna die if you fail at work one day, and especially in audit. I remember we're auditing a big football stadium in the state, and I kind of fucked up. And like, you work 60 hours a week. It was in the States. I'm in Canada, so we were traveling with the team. I was in charge of the team. It was brand new job, like second year in. You're super stressed out, and it was really hard. Like I could not get my mind around how we were gonna close this audit. It's really tough. If I throw myself back there, like a throwback. And I just remember the partner, he came back and he told me, Dave, he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, Dave, you know what? You need to start not giving a F. That's actually what he said in French. He said, I remember, he said, take some shit, like some actual poop, and put it on your shoulders, right? That's actually what he said. And it just stuck in my mind. I'm like, yeah, you're like, things are gonna be okay. And to this day, it's been almost, I don't know, 6 years, I still remember this advice from the partner from PwC. So It leads to my third advice. So this was don't care too much, like stop caring too much. And so my third advice, like that stress you have on your shoulders because you're working too much. You can feel it in your neck. You're being an accountant. You're like this at the client, and the chairs are like disgusting plastic chairs, and you don't like have a proper setting. Maybe it has changed with COVID, but maybe you work from home now. But that stress on your shoulders, you need to shake it off. So my third advice is like do sports. And it might sound really cringe and like, oh yeah, of course you don't do sports, or now that you do, blah blah blah. But seriously, do sports. Stress on your shoulders, you need to shake it off. So I'm not telling you to like run a marathon. I don't even run marathon myself. That I'm giving you like this kind of advice. But if you just have a 30 minutes walk, it's gonna just, I don't know how the brain works. Like I'm not a doctor. I said this twice already, but I'm not a specialist in all of that. I just know that there's like different part in your brain, and that sports will just activate different, dopamine and all of that. It's like serotonin, whatever. It's different part of your brain. And I just know for a fact 2 weeks ago or 1 month ago, yeah, I was sick during Christmas. So that's 2 months ago, anyways. I was sick, so I could not run for like 7 days because it was really bad sick. And then I started working again. I got better, and I just remember working until like 3 p.m. and I had so much on my plate. I was like, I need to edit that, do the podcast, send some emails. I had too much on my plate, and I was just like, it's sunny outside. Let's go for a run. I didn't run for like more than 7 days now. And I went for a run, and when I came back 1 hour later, nothing crazy, right? I went for a shower, and then I was in my zone. Like everything that was stressing me, it was not there anymore. And the paralysis analysis that I didn't do anything the whole day, it was gone. It was completely gone. So, yeah, basically. So, advice number 4, I'll take a sip of this beautiful coffee. And this is actually probably the most important advice I would say is work for a boss that you like, even for a boss that you love. Because you can't always do that, in an accounting firm, by instance. If you have different clients, you won't be able to pick and choose your clients. And that's fine, because it's going to be only for like a 3 weeks audit. So then you're gone. You change the partner, so you change team. So that's fine, you can handle it for a few weeks. What you can't handle is a toxic boss. I was working for a video games company after PwC that I won't name, and I had a really toxic boss that I handled, or I don't know how to say that in English, but for 2 years I worked for this boss. And I tell you, it drained so much energy from me. And even though if I had $300K per month working for this person, I will not have stayed because it just drains your mind. You get back home, it affects your mood. If you have kids, you're going to be mad at the kids, but at the end of the day, it's just because you were mad at your boss and you're gonna spit it out on your girlfriend. I had a girlfriend back then, not anymore, but I was talking to my girlfriend more about my boss and the negative side of it more than anything else. And then I realized, I was like, you know what? Screw that. And I wanted to say a bad word here, but you know what? Screw that. Like, life is too short. It's going to affect my mental health. I need to get out of here. There are so many jobs out there. I can't just complain my whole life because I actually love the job, but the boss, I don't. So I would say if you have a toxic boss or whatever, it's easy to say that your boss is really bad. And if like you have a 5 streak of toxic boss in 5 different companies, then maybe you're the problem. Just kidding, actually. But uh, so yeah, sorry, I lost my. So what I was about to say is like when I swapped from this video game company to Polka, a SaaS software as a service startup, it was love at first sight with my boss, and actually it just changed my life so much. I was with the CEO like every freaking day of my life doing some FP&A. I'm FP&A guy, so the budget, the charts, and everything. And he was relying on me, like he was trusting me like no one. Like when he had a question, he was just straight up calling me, while my previous boss was just never calling me and trying to say, oh, you're not that good and stuff, like playing with my mind, right? It was a mind game. And this new boss, this new CEO I was working for, he was just so nice. I saw him in the worst moments, fundraising, budgets got denied, selling the company. We have to fire people. I saw him in the worst state possible. And that taught me so much. And he was so nice with me. He trusted me so much. And he's like, you got this. You can handle it. How can I help? Even though he was very, very busy, how can I help? Like, it was the kind of person that just came in my office, sat there asking me about my dates, like, hey, how was your date last night? We got that close. And that, I think it's worth everything. And we even brainstormed the name of this very specific channel together. The piggy bank accountant is from the CEO of my previous job. It comes from him. At one point, if I get rich with that, I'll probably owe him some money. um, I'm kidding, actually. But and what I really liked, maybe it's another advice that I didn't really plan on my sheet here, is like when I left the company, the process was so smooth because I was so in peace with these guys and they actually became friends. And I know it's probably not possible at every work, and some people might want to keep the corporate aside with the personal side, but I will say, like, stay true to yourself as well. If you feel that you can cross this line at work, do it. Like, I know people say personal is different than professional, and that's fine for some people, but if for you, it's fine to be like more personal with your colleagues, that's fine as well, So um I forgot the last part of it, but anyways, that was the advice. Make sure you love your boss. It's very important. So yeah, what I wanted to say is like, so when you leave the company and you're at peace with that, then you can call them back if something happens, if you want to go back. Like, don't quiet quit. Don't like hide the fact that you're doing an interview, depending how close you are with your boss, but it's I said to these guys like, hey, I wake up in the morning and I want to do videos. I want to do YouTube. And they're like, dude, follow your dreams. And I'm like, it feels so good when you leave a job. Like, it's just like when you're, with your ex, and maybe I can't really give advice about that because I don't have a girlfriend, but um, like when it finishes on, a good way, I don't know, say that in English, but when it finishes right, it feels so much better, right? It's the same thing with a job, I think. I texted this morning the CEO of my previous job, and 2 weeks ago the CFO, which was my real boss, and it feels so good. And these guys have contacts and everything, so I know they have a positive image of me, and it's and vice versa. So I think it's so important to have contacts in your career as well, and people you've worked with. Like, why you worked there for 3 years in such a great way, and then all of a sudden you go ninja mode and you apply everywhere else and you find a new job. I think everything you can say everything in life. There's just a way of saying it, right? And speaking of, you can say everything in life, my fifth advice is ask. Ask to be on calls with clients when, like, as shadowing. You're gonna learn so much. Ask your boss to buy you this training that you're dreaming of. It costs 1,000, maybe 1,000 for you, or for you is a lot. But for the business, it's nothing. They want to invest in you. They already invested in you. So ask for this training. They're probably gonna pay it, and get there with a use case. Like, say, hey, I want this training. It's on how to build a TikTok, and you're an accountant. Like, it will not make sense, right? Just make sure it makes sense. Um, what I asked one of my bosses, it's really simple, but like, I had this mouse that I bound my keys to, like, go faster in Excel, and it was like, can you buy my like, can I buy this mouse, please? And they said yes. They don't give a, it's $100, and the worst you can get in life is a no. But if you don't ask, you will never know. But the worst you can get is a no. And what happens if you have a no? That's it. You ask the next thing the next time, and that's about it. Maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe it wasn't right this time. Maybe you didn't ask the right way. So just ask, and the worst you can get is a no. And more of a story on that, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever, I asked two things. So I'm doing a partnership with a brand and they wanted me to speak at the Global Excel Summit. Yes, it's a thing. Footage is out there as well. And they wanted me to speak. It was distance, so I could do it from home, like recording like that. But I asked them, hey, will you have a ticket? Like, I want to go there. I want to go to London and meet some people, right? And they said, let me check. And they came back three days after and they said, hey, yes, Dave, we have a ticket for you. Let's go. You wanna go? You sure? Are you crazy? I said, yes, I'm crazy and I'm sure. And I went. And so I asked. And then it was expensive because they didn't pay the whole thing. They didn't pay my plane ticket. They didn't pay, my food and everything. So I turned to a consultant, like someone that hires me as a consultant. And I said, hey guys, what's up? It's been nice working with you. I'm going to this Global Excel Summit. I think it's going to give me some credibility because I'm teaching for you and stuff. Will you happen to have some kind of help that you could give? And they actually ended up helping me. And I won't say how they helped me, but they helped me in a way of like it will get me more exposure there and stuff. So it's so nice. And if you don't ask, you just can't. You just don't receive. And I don't have any advice here. It was the end, as you can see on my beautiful paper here. But I have actually one more advice, and I don't have any story for this one. It's micro learning. There is so much nice stuff out there, so much videos on Excel, Miss Excel, Excel Dictionary, Leila Garani, so many nice channels that you can follow. ChatGPT tricks on Instagram, ChatGPT mastery, iPhone photography. That's not really for accounting, but you can learn so many things instead of scrolling stupid stuff while you're on the bathroom, on the toilet, right? You can micro learn so much. And I wish I would have done that way earlier because right now, like back then on Excel, I didn't know anything, right? I was so bad at Excel and I could have been so much faster and be the hero and get promoted so much faster if I had micro learned how to do basic VLOOKUP. I didn't know how to VLOOKUP until very late. I didn't know how to properly do pivot tables until very late. I had so many more advice, but that will be for another video. If you like this type of content, completely raw, completely transparent, completely unedited, let me know. It was a pleasure for me, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Peace.